XP Indiana Pacer star doesn't hold back. Around Caitlin Clark's Nike announcement, finally, Nike got something right with Caitlin Clark, and in what style. Nike recently announced the launch of Caitlin Clark Kobe 5 Protro PE shoes, and the quirky announcement commercial just hit the bullseye. The commercial showed Clark sitting down before a game, seemingly getting locked in before her pupils dilate into snake-like slits, a subtle nod to the Black Mamba himself. But there is a slight caveat to this. The Clark Kobe 5 Protro PE are not exactly the signature sneakers the fans were hoping for. Instead, they are just player edition sneakers. The design incorporates the Indiana Fever colors, dark navy, crimson orange, and an electric university gold outlining the trademark Nike Swoosh. Announcing the launch, Nike wrote, "When a Caitlin Clark 22 laces her new Kobe 5 Protro PE, she steps into a new dimension. Noise fades, focus hits, and all that's left is her drive to dominate." The shoe drops June 30th on SNKRS in select regions, but the highly anticipated shoes got a less than ideal launch. Two-time NBA All-Star and longtime Caitlin Clark supporter Isaiah Thomas openly criticized Nike's SNKRS app following the highly anticipated release of Clark's player-exclusive Nike Kobe 5 Protro. Thomas didn't hold back, essentially directing his frustration not just at the app, but at Nike itself for mishandling what should have been a landmark moment in women's sports marketing. Thomas wrote on X, "The SNKRS app sucks," and that opinion was shared by multiple fans eagerly waiting to get their hands on this shoe. Many of them lined up, virtually of course, to buy the shoe as it launched on 10 a.m. ET, but most of them had to return empty-handed. In less than a minute, the shoes got sold out, which is not surprising as it was later revealed that there were only 13,000 of them up for sale. The former Pacers star further explained his frustration with the app by writing, "I just wanted an extra pair, lol. That app sucks though, and it always has been bad. Need a new way of doing this or just sell all Kobe's in stores." The Nike SNKR app continues to fail when it matters most. During the release of Caitlin Clark's debut sneaker, the app once again crumbled under pressure. It couldn't handle the traffic. It glitched. Payments failed. People who were ready to buy were left empty-handed. This isn't new. The app has a history of crashing during major drops. Users regularly report payment errors, instant sellouts, and losses to bots. Reviews are filled with complaints about the same issues, technical failures, unfair odds, and a system that feels rigged. Many believe Nike wants it this way. By limiting access and hyping scarcity, Nike drives demand while frustrating the very people who support the brand. It's a strategy pulled straight from the Supreme playbook, make it nearly impossible to buy and watch the resale values skyrocket. The Caitlin Clark release should have been a win for fans and for women's sports. Instead, it became another example of how broken the SNKRS experience is. Either way, the shoes were a huge success for Caitlin Clark, but that is not the only success the Indiana star is enjoying. Caitlin Clark set sky-high expectations for Indiana's All-Star Weekend. Caitlin Clark has plenty to celebrate this summer, but she is doing it while facing real challenges. Along with the launch of her highly anticipated Nike Kobe 5 Protro PE sneakers, Clark will captain the Eastern Conference in the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game, which will take place in Indiana for the first time. It is a historic milestone for both the league and the city, and while Clark's impact on the court is undeniable, she is leading through more than just performance. She has been playing through a lingering quad injury and groin strain that have sidelined her for several games this season. Even with those physical setbacks, Clark is averaging 18.2 points and 8.9 assists per game. She also leads all players in All-Star voting with nearly 1.2 million votes, making this the most voted WNBA All-Star ballot in history. Obviously, it's cool, and it's cool fans get to be a part of it and have an impact on the game, Clark said. It's going to be really special to be able to do it here in this city. There's already been so much time and effort by so many people who aren't going to get credit for what they did to bring All-Star here. As captain, she is setting a bold tone for the weekend. I'm trying to make it the best All-Star the WNBA's ever had. I think we'll certainly do that. Her leadership carries extra weight. She is not just a rising superstar, but a player pushing through physical limits while continuing to elevate her team, her city, and the league. The Fever will host their first All-Star weekend with one of their own at the center of it all, and the expectations could not be higher. The return date from her injury still remains clouded, but the fans will hope she is back and balling soon. Western Conference captain Napisa Collier will join Clark in selecting teams on July 8, with a record-breaking vote count, a sold-out crowd expected, and Clark determined to make the moment count. This All-Star game is shaping up to be one for the history books. The echoes of basketball legends don't fade easily in Indiana, from Reggie Miller's sharpshooting reign to Paul George's acrobatic dominance. The hardwood in Gainbridge Fieldhouse has seen its share of brilliance, but in 2025, the brightest spotlight in Indiana doesn't shine on the past. It follows Caitlin Clark. And not everyone is clapping quietly from the sidelines. When news broke that Nike had unveiled a special edition Kobe v Protro PE branded with Caitlin Clark's name, logo, and lightning bolt insignia, the basketball world gasped. It was a milestone for the WNBA, for Nike, for Clark, and for female athletes at large. But while fans buzzed and young girls raced to stores to grab a pair, one former Indiana Pacer sat back with folded arms and a sharp tongue. That said, and there's a Nike. I said, well, Jamal Tinsley, once the slick, no-nonsense point guard of the Pacers during the early 2000s, didn't mince words when asked during a local podcast interview what he thought about Caitlin Clark's Nike deal. I respect her game. She's got range, confidence, and she's shifting culture. But man, they handed her that shoe like she already walked on water. You'd think she won 5 rings already. It was vintage Tinsley, raw, unscripted, and impossible to ignore. Tinsley continued, diving into deeper territory that exposed the divide not often acknowledged in polite press conferences. When I came into the league, you earned every inch. No glitz before grind. Nowadays, one viral clip, and you're on a sneaker. She's good. Don't twist me up, but that Kobe line, that's sacred to hoopers. You don't just slap a name on that because someone's trending. So the backlash was immediate. Social media lit up. Clark's defenders accused Tinsley of being bitter, stuck in an era that often ignored female athletes. Others pointed to how Nike's bold move was bigger than basketball. It was about investment in women's sports, representation, and inspiring a generation that desperately needed it. But Tinsley wasn't backing down.